Be sure to go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. It's a good deal and helps support the show. What is up, Planeswalkers? Theric 6 back with some more Magic the Gathering Arena. Today we're playing Bolas, as it is Tuesday for me, which means it's Wednesday for you, which means it's Bolas Day. We're playing Historic again because Historic is fun. Historic is also the sponsor of today's video, along with the like button. Press it. I let it... That was weird. I had it hovering in some weird place. Regardless, we've made a very slight change here. We've removed a single Atris to include another Bedevil, just for a little bit more of the removal. The removal that is very variable. We can hit artifacts and etc, etc. And in the sideboard, we completely removed the Thief of Sandies in order to get Ashiok. Ashiok helps in several different matchups. It helps against decks that are looking to search their library a lot. So any deck that's looking to ramp with things like Circuitous Route and whatever. But also it helps against the graveyard decks where we can go ahead and just say, snipe to the graveyard. So those are, I believe, the only changes. We put Virulent Plague in there last time, so we'll see how this goes. Actually, you know what? There's actually one more change I want to make to the sideboard. And that is to put a Bloodstone in. I want to put a Bloodstone in. As much as I love Star of Ignition, I think I'm gonna get rid of it. Yeah. Historic ranked, so yeah, alright. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So it's the first week back off of the extended spring break. It's going quite interestingly. I'm not expecting that the lab course that I teach is going to be too much of an issue. I have to do a little bit of research on how to run my research remotely. Mostly it's just software stuff. I'm not familiar with a lot of the software because I'm used to just doing data collection using pen and paper, or pencil and paper, whatever. Physically, with actual physical wood things. That's what I'm used to, so. Let's see. Yeah, we can keep this. We got a Temple of Deceit turn 1, followed by a Swamp Azcanta. Why do I say Swamp? I don't remember when I first started saying Swamp. Was that the second mulligan for my opponent? I think it was. Yeah, it had to be, because they're going first. And they choose the first mulligan first. Yep. Well, they have a Temple of Deceit as well. Not surprised by them bottoming it. Let's see. Got a bunch of 5-drops. I'm kind of fine just keeping that on top. Would not be surprised if this also got bottomed. I would expect if it's on top, then it would have been lands, but yeah. Play the Swamp, play Azcanta. My opponent likes Fibblethip. Thought Erasure probably steals Bolas, just because I have double Ashiok. Interesting. They kept the thing on top. This is going to graveyard. They kept the thing on top. They played a thingamajig here. I'm just going to play this. So I assume they're just Dimir. They kept that on top. What are you going to do for 3? Nothing. So I would not be surprised. Okay, they seem to have something at instant speed. Okay then. I would not be surprised if this gets countered by Sinister Sabotage. Nope. Cool. Could be killed by Murderous Rider, which they should wait to do. If they have a kill spell for this, they should wait until after I make my selection. because that way I have less information to make. So, like, if Atris is one of the... well, I have plenty of lands, and I have an active search for Azcanta, so I'm going to go ahead and take this pile. I think my opponent may have messed that up, but I'm not sure. Thought Erasure, sure. You get to take one of my things. Sure. Now they have to have a counterspiel. For Ashiok, I have 5 in there right now. I don't need that. I have very little information on my opponent right now. I'm gonna go ahead and attack first. It's fine with me.
The immortal Nicol Bolas will be your end.
So they do have Murder Shredder. Good to know. See, this is some sort of very strange version of just Dimir Control. Dimir, I mean, it could be Dimir Adventures, who knows? You email. Shut the fuck up. Press Contempt, that's fine.
Conceivable.
Yeah, I mean, we just play Ashiok and plus.
The regrets of the shadows awaken.
There should really be no way my opponent can win from here. Like, I think I would have to screw up royally for them to win. Yeah, this is just like normal blue-black control. I mean, even if they flash in Brazen Bar, we're... Sure, I don't know why you decided to do that now.
All your fears are given form.
I'm just gonna bog them, I guess. And I can use Azcanta if I want. My opponent has this much information on me. I don't need to play Atris. Like, I have these threats on board. Sure, I will sack one of these. Cool. I'm gonna Thought Erase them. No, I'm actually going to bounce this first. This might be a land, potentially. So I'm going to bounce this first.
What a foolish thing you are. I leave you. Surrender every morsel of fear.
Ashiok, calm down. Holy crap. You can take a chill pill. So, yeah, opponent's just playing kind of blue-black control, I suppose. Take a Distortion, take a Sarkhan, take a Sharon. Do I want the Ashioks? Probably, well, I might. Just because I have a bunch of control cards that I just don't need. So I might want them. Ugin, maybe? I don't think I'll need the Unmoored Egos. Based on my opponent's cards... Got Brazen Borrower, Murderous Rider, and Devourer. Just strange. I mean, Ritual of Soot, like, I think Cry the Carnarium is probably the weakest. It's also relatively weak. It's not actually weak, but it seems like, relatively speaking, a little weak. I didn't even see anything that I need Vraska Contempt for, to be honest. I'm going second. I don't think I care about Thought Distortion. Drop one of the Akis as well. This matchup seems so like straightforward that I don't think I'll need any silver bullets. Could be wrong, but I think I'd rather just have strong cards. Just good keep. It's not the best, obviously. We only have 2 lands, but Search for Azcanta would be helpful. Obviously, my opponent can... If my opponent discards my Search for Azcanta, this hand becomes pretty bad. That said, YOLO. I have 26 lands in this deck. Cool. We might get discarded here, but cast Levi. No, we didn't, which is nice. Our opponent... Have I seen a Watery Grave from them? I don't know if I have. I technically messed that up. I should have played... No, this was right. There are more basic swamps in the deck than there are basic islands or mountains. I mean, islands don't count, but more than basic mountains. So technically, if I do want to minimize the amount of damage I'm taking while still being able to play Bedevil on this following up turn, then this is the correct decision, because I'm more likely to draw a basic swamp. See what my opponent gets here. If they whiff, it'll be hilarious, but I don't think they will. Yeah. So they get a Thought Erasure, that's fine. Sure. I'm gonna just murder her. I assume they're gonna erase Chandra because they can't be countered. But they could just erase Atris in order to not have to deal with Atris next turn. They could double Thought Erasure. They're gonna get rid of Chandra, makes sense. And I wouldn't be horribly surprised if they also got rid of Atris here. I wouldn't be surprised if they had, not Censor, Censor's from Amonkhet. Quench? Interesting. I don't need it. Cool. The thing is, the 2 life I don't think is going to matter. And I don't want to give my opponent any more information than they already have. So I would rather just pay the 2 life for them to not know what this card is. Right? And, you know, it's nickel and dimey. But I think that's important, especially when you're going against another control deck, because a lot of the game is going to be about access to information and using that information to your benefit. I don't need any more lands. Yeah, so I'm choosing this every time. But, like, why? Right, like, I feel like my opponent's not very good at making Atris piles. I could be super wrong, but I also got to put 2 cards in there. I mean, that's a library right there. Going to attack first. My opponent also decided to like they're at 20 here, and I think they were 20 last game when Watery Grave, when they bounced my Atris with Brazen Borrower. Like, there's almost no reason to do that. My opponent does know about Ashiok. So would I rather play Ashiok here? I don't like that sound. I think I would rather play Ashiok here, because if my opponent does have access to specifically Quench, then I would be able to potentially Bolas and pay for Quench next turn. That said, I do think 4 total life to hide my intentions is not great. So let's see, it looks like they have a counterspell here. Or not? I'm just gonna bounce? No, they're gonna kill it. Okay. That's fine. I still got, like, that's still a 2-for-1 for me. Let's see what they do. And they kept that card on top. Okay. Ritual of Soot doesn't... Okay, that does something.
I am the master. And from battle to the grave.
That was not a bad haul there.
I'll return where you
I can flip my Azcanta relatively soon, which is great. That's fine with me. And I'll be able to play Bolas next turn. Fudge! They have an Ashiok of their own!
welcome to my world of nightmare.
Damn. Oh, that's unfortunate.
You
Definitely unfortunate. So this is not flipping anytime soon. But still, having this over not having it is pretty nice, because I can do stuff like this. Oh, nice. I'm going to kill the Ashiok.
Mortality suits me well. Defiance has
I don't know if that was right.
consequence.
That's why I wasn't sure if it was right.
Here, deep below, I love your desperation. Never forget mine. Your heroics are but a dream to me. Gods once, I am one again. Yes, suffer for your cause.
I actually should have kept that in my hand. My opponent may have wasted a Thought Erasure on it. I wouldn't be surprised if my opponent has an additional Ashiok here. Just playing Murderous Riders looks pretty good for me. Fantastic. They didn't have the Elder Spell right now, so... Nice. I don't bounce Murderous Rider here.
There is little as exquisite.
Yeah, I will do this.
Artistry of
I did it second because I'm stupid. Okay, that's fine. I wasn't sure if I wanted to
intellect is
if I wanted to plus Bolas using Ashioks. So they got rid of one Tarnscorn. I assume they have another? Okay, sure. Good thing I have another Bolas. Mm-hmm. That's fine. I have another Bolas. 4 cards in the yard. My opponent has a stop on my upkeep for some reason. We're going to yard this. We got 5 cards in the yard. It's not the best. Let's see. I think I'm just going to kill Brazen Bar with Bolas. Why do that at that moment, though? Like, they've given me more information. And now I think it's actually correct to not. Like, I think it's more correct to just plus here. To draw a card. I have 1, 2, 3, yeah.
if you're interested. My schemes are never ending.
So if they decide to just kill Bolas, then next turn I can Ashiok. And cast, like, Narset Liliana Vraska's Contempt.
I have other plans.
And then cast Fires of Invention? Like, they have this. That's a graveyard transform. Alright, attack first. You attack first so we can get 2 more options. Oh, they did have Sinister Sabotage. That's fine, they can gain their 2 life. Gonna cast one of these. Gonna cast one of these. And cool, we win. Fantastic. Why is this red? Weird ass game. Mm-hmm. More Bolas. I have a scarf that I have on my desk. And essentially it's just like a wrist pad. So like when I'm moving my mouse around, like my elbow's on my chair arm. My wrist is resting on my soft scarf. That way it's not just like on my hard ass bamboo table. It's great. We're gonna play first. We will keep this hand. Yeah. I'm nothing if not a man of greed. My opponent is very likely playing a graveyard deck. It could be a Kethis combo. I still don't trust it. Oh wow, it is a graveyard deck. Sultai. I guess I get rid of an opt? No. Get rid of Underrealm Lich. Could get rid of Assassin's Trophy. I'll get rid of one of the Liches. Gonna get rid of this as well. We do need to be able to hit a 4th land. Hit me for 1. Respectable. Four mana. Hit me for 1. That's a yikes right there. We kept a 3-lander. Didn't draw a 4th. Still didn't draw a 4th, but now we have Search for Azcanta, which is going to get blown up. Which is actually fine, because all I care about is getting a 4th lands. So I'm actually super fine with this. So they're probably going to play Lich. They didn't get it. They missed a land drop as well. So it's actually better for me. We're going to play Crypt untapped. We're going to Bolas, since we have 2 of those and only 1 Ashiok. And we're going to plus.
I will spare you in exchange for
Yeah, we're going
eternal
to plus.
servitude.
I assume they're just going to drop the opt. Yep. See if they top deck a land so they can play this Underarm Lich. They didn't! So we both got screwed. I got less screwed. Bring in a Contempt for the Lich. Bring in Ashioks. Egos. Probably all we need. Don't have a lot of information here, actually. I don't think we bring in Egos. Ritual of Soot. I don't think we need these. I think we want to keep Elspeths to deal with elves. But I think everything else is just, like, fine. Yeah, just bring in some Ashioks to clear out the graveyards. Should be right. This seems like a really bad idea. I'm going second. This is 6 lands. There's 20 left in the deck. I'm gonna keep this. Never punished. Remember, Justin, do not play Dragonskull Summit. I've done this too many fucking times. Never mind. We're gonna get our Eraser gone. Yeah. Right, now it doesn't matter what I play. Oh, are they playing, oh, I guess they probably are. Another Remorse. All right. By Atris. I'm still just gonna cast this and be fine with it. Like, they might like play Forest Lamerolf here. I don't actually care all that much. I want to see what they're working with and get to a point where I can exile their graveyard. Drawing that land sucks. They have no green, and they don't have a second blue. So, as long as they like don't draw green, I feel pretty okay. Because if they get a green, then they can just go ahead and play Uro, which might find them another land. I mean, yeah, they can like draw any other land. I think my opponent is running too few lands, to be frank. Like, my opponent should be running more lands. Can acquisition for something? I don't know what. I can get a 5-drop. Guess I just grab Bolas. I'm just gonna grab Bolas here. Cool. This is why I like the historic version a lot more. The fact that acquisition can get anything from your main deck or your sideboard means that... So one, the biggest thing is that you can get creatures, right? The fact that you don't have to get just non-creature spells is actually pretty large.
There are so many mysteries
cool.
to
Shut
uncover.
Let's see. I'm gonna... Gosh, it's so far down. It's one of the last decks. Yeah, the fact that this can only get non-creatures and they have to be outside the game, so they have to be in your sideboard, really limits your versatility, right? If there's a matchup where you want to be playing Ashiok, on the one hand, you want to put it in the main deck. However, the fact that you have 4 Fave Wishes in the main deck means that technically keeping it in the sideboard is better. However, when you... So that's still only four chances to get it if you decide to keep it in the main. It becomes 1 chance to get it if you... or decide to keep it aside. It becomes 1 chance to get it if you put it in the main. Whereas with this version, if you have 4 Masterminds acquisitions, right? So while this is here, I have a 4 in 60 or 1 in, what, 15? 1 in 15 chance of getting a Blood Sun out of my sideboard. If I then, in the sideboard games, put this into the main, I now have a 5 in 60 chance, which is what, 1 in 20? No. It's 1 in 12. I'm stupid. It's a 1 in 12 chance of getting it. And that might not seem like a lot, 1 in 15 versus 1 in 12, but it's a hell of a lot better than 1 in 15 or 1 in 60 if you're trying to put it in. Additionally, as I said, like, you can get creatures. I don't have any creatures in here because there aren't creatures that are good enough in my opinion. But Mastermind's acquisition is just so much better. Obviously, Fave Wishes can block in the early game, and this can't. However, because we have cards like Nicol Bolas, I don't worry about those as much. And we also have Search for Azcanta. Like, we have things that we can do early on in the game. So I really like the historic version of this better. I am very interested in seeing how I cope with attempting to add Amonkhet cards, or like Amonkhets and Kaladesh block cards once they eventually get added to the game. Because I'm for sure playing at least one God Pharaoh. But there are other cards in that from that era that I just don't know how it would fit in various places and whatnot. For example, one of the things that I could do if I stick around being a Fires of Invention version is that I can put an Approach of the Second Sun in the sideboard, and then I can get it with Mastermind's Acquisition. And then if I have let's say, another Mastermind's Acquisition, I can get it a second time, like, immediately, right? So it's just another avenue of potentially just winning outright, whereas this version does have Play and Win Celebration plus Nikki B Dragon G. So I definitely like this version. Very intrigued on seeing where it goes with new historic anthologies and stuff, and we're going to continue playing Bolas as long as Bolas is playable on Arena. And when I mean playable, I don't mean good. I mean I can actually make a deck that has at least one Nicol Bolas in it. So once Bolas rotates out of Standard, I'm going to be, every Wednesday, there's going to be a historic Bolas video, because I'm playing Bolas for the rest of time. I would like to thank my lovely patrons, especially Zin, for continued support. If you'd like to join them in supporting me, you'll find links to that down in the description below. Or, honestly, one of the best ways to support the channel is tap that like button, add a subscription to Mana Pool, pass a comment to the comment section down below, share the videos. For what it's worth, like, that one has always been the weirdest one to me. It's, like, not easy to share videos. Like, obviously, if you have a insular friend group that does play MTG, and you're like, oh, hey, I watched this guy, like, you said that you're bored just being stuck at home with the whole nonsense that's happening right now. Hey, watch this dude. I think it's kind of fun. You might like him too. But it's just like I just imagine going to like your LGS. Well, don't do that right now. But it's just being like, hey, you should watch this dude that I watched because he told me to tell you to watch him. I don't know what I'm talking about. I hope you liked today's thumbnail because that was weird. Anyway, until next time, I'll be one.